for fixed rate, maybe you want like to make a guess. What is the fixed rate you can secure today? What's the lowest? You can type at the chat box. Okay, what's the lowest you can secure for your client for a fixed rate package today? Is it 1.2 or 1.3? What's the lowest you have seen before for the fixed rate package in today's market today? 1.18, thank you, Hui Ping. 1.18, Eileen. 1%. Whoa, Peasant, you're very into the market. 1.1. Okay, I think Peasant gotten the correct answer. Actually, today's fixed rate actually start from 1% onwards. Of course, that would be depending on the client loan amount. I would say in market averagely, we are looking at about 1.1 to 1.15, unless the client loan size is quite sizable, maybe above 2 or 3 mil, then we can actually seek for approval for fixed rates starting from 1%. And for SIBOR package in today's market is 1.04%. SORA will be the new interest rate benchmark all the banks will be using, and SIBOR will be obsolete within the next 2 to 3 years. So SORA package is actually at all-time low. It actually starts from 0.84. So for building under construction or a completed, there are clients opting for SORA package because interest rate is on a downward trend. Because since last year, COVID until now, we saw that fixed rate is on downward trend, similar for SORA. SIBOR remained quite stable over the last 1 year plus. It's remaining at 0.44 to 0.45 region, whereas SORA recently we saw a dip. Now it's only 3 months SORA, right? It's only at about 0.14%. So all in is 0.84. So some clients, depending on their loan amount again, they actually opt for SORA because within the next 2 years, we don't foresee a drastic movement on the interest rate package. So just to give you an idea how the bank's floating package works, okay? So usually be it SIBOR or SORA, there is a bank spread. Bank spread is the amount the banks minimum want to earn and followed by 3 months SORA or SORA, SIBOR or SORA package. So this will be a fluctuating component. So just for your information, if your client asks you, what's the difference between SIBOR and SORA? The main difference between a SIBOR or SORA is that SIBOR is forward-looking interest rate. So if today US announced they are going to increase the interest rate, technically SIBOR will actually have changes straight away, and within the next 1 month or 2 months, the client can see that their SIBOR interest rate actually increase. Whereas for SORA package, right, it's a backward looking. So even though if SORA shoot up to 1% today, they will still take an average of the last 90 days. So the client don't see the impact of the SORA that much compared to a SIBOR packages. And for interest rate, it's actually break down into 2 segments. One is actually fixed, the other is floating. So fixed, as we all know, it will not be impact the market is going up or down, but a floating package really depends on the market fluctuation. So for floating package, we have like bank spot rate, fixed deposit rate, SIBOR rate, and SORA rate. Fixed deposit rate was one of the very popular interest rate package 3 to 4 years ago, but a lot of customers wasn't aware that this is actually a floating. So after taking up the floating fixed deposit rate, they thought that it's a fixed rate, but the interest rate actually keep increasing over the last few years. So these are some of the information you want to be equipped so that you can have another conversation with your client about interest rate. You can actually gain trust and knowledge from what I share and share with your customer, and they will have more trust with you as well. So refinance is also another very good open topic for your existing client or maybe your new prospect customers that they have not decided to buy or sell yet. So you can actually go into a refinance process to share with them, hey, will you want to refinance? Because those customers who secured interest rate 2 years ago, the interest rate now they are paying might be above 2%. So it's a good time to engage with them, talk to them, are they keen for refinancing, help them save some money, and slowly maybe from there they will be open to buy another property or to cash out to buy another property with you. Okay, so of course refinancing, some of the flexibility is lower interest rate, better flexibility with tailored packages, Of course, one of the very important, a lot of clients are doing refinance is that they can stretch out their loan tenure. Remember, because at purchase, most clients can only loan up to age 65 if they are going for more than 55%. But during a refinancing, even they are having a 75% loan, we can actually refinance to age 75. In terms of monthly cash flow, it actually works, it actually reduce a couple of $1,000 depending on client loan amount. And this is how I have helped a lot of agents, right, to get their client commit a bigger ticket item, because we go for 1 year lock-in or 2 years lock-in, after which we stretch the loan tenure to age 75. The client is more comfortable with the money installment. Okay, lastly, of course, equity term loan cash out. So with equity term loan cash out, what it means that the client will have additional cash flow on hand, which potentially they can use this money to finance another property. So this is one of the solutions we always use, like parent strategy, how we actually get the kids above 21 to buy another property, and using this equity loan cash out as the down payment. So these are some of the solutions we have created for agents who have been working with us and helping them, their clients, to buy more property. Of course, lastly, decoupling. Decoupling is, I think everyone is very familiar how you do decoupling, but our specialty when we come to decoupling is that we actually push up a higher valuation. So when you get a higher valuation, it makes a difference because the client will have more cash on hand. That also translates that you can actually upsize to a bigger ticket item for them as well. Of course, another common reason is to reduce or avoid the ABSD. So these are 5 of the key solutions we usually share during our monthly training for tailored finance solution. So these are 5 common solutions that a lot of agents is not aware. And with these 5 solutions, we actually craft up to help them to close more solution. So you'd like to find out how you can attend our monthly tailored finance solution, please reach out to your admin or Eddie, or we will be arranging upcoming in July or early August. So we also cover on commercial industrial property, and for operating company now for fixed rate is actually from 1.5% onwards, floating is 1.38. If your clients are buying under individual name, it starts from 1.78 for fixed, and floating package from 1.6%. Another thing we cover is on construction loan. So if your client are looking to buy a landed and wanted to find out, oh, because it's an old property, I like to do rebuilding, I like to do A&A extension, that's where we can come in and work with you hand in hand, right? So that you have another options that, oh, Mr. Customer, although it's an old landed, you can consider rebuild. That's where we can come in to help you close the deal as well, letting your client know how much they can loan for the construction loan, all this. So it can be a detached, semi-D or terrace house. Just take note, conservation house, the facade need to remain. We can only do rebuild on the back of the property as well as bungalow property. So a few things, a lot of people are not aware that for construction loan, not all the banks are able to provide the financing. Okay, and interest rate, it varies from, it can ranging from 2% to even up to 6% per annum for the construction loan. Valuation is one of the crucial things, because if the banks are not able to grant a higher valuation based on gross development value or future market value, your client will not be able to get a good construction loan amount. And also managing the timeline, because not a lot of bankers out there are familiar with all this, but we have done a lot of construction loan for a lot of agents from PopNext. So that's where we can handhold your client timeline, how is the process is going to be. So over at KeyQuest Mortgage, when you engage us, it's going to be hassle-free process. It's going to be very precise and transparent information, and you can benefit from our experience. Why is it important to benefit from our experience? Because we have did a lot of cases which are very unique, and this will actually help to translate to another purchase for you. Because when you engage us, it's not just about getting the lowest interest rate. You can leverage on our experience that if you face a roadblock for your client, that's where we can come in to untangle that roadblock so that your client can purchase another property with you. Okay, efficient and professional advice, expert in cash out and decoupling, like what I mentioned just now. We have helped a lot of PropNext agents to push up a higher valuation. Therefore, the client can buy another bigger ticket property with them. lastly, definitely trust and confidentiality. So for KeyQuest Mortgage, we have more than 11 years of experience. We don't just cover on residential property, we cover on commercial, industrial, and of course, not just on new purchase, we cover on refinance. A lot of deals we work with the agents is through refinance. After that, they found out they can cash out. That's where the decoupling happened. So these are refinancing is a opener for you to pitch for another property. After they are open, they know that they can cash out this much money from their existing property. Of course, construction loan as well as tailored financing solution, because every customer is different. So sometimes we need to craft out a package which is more suitable for them so that they can purchase the next property with you. These are some of the testimonial we have from Facebook, as well as Google, how the customer engaged us, how was the experience, and also from agents who have actually, along the way, we have helped many agents to craft out new solution so that we can uh, get their client to purchase a bigger ticket item or to solve a certain problems they might have. Okay, I have come towards the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, you can post at the chat box. Okay, I can pick up one or two questions. If not, I will be handing over back the time to Kelvin.
Hi, morning, Kenneth. Thank you so much for joining us as well. Thank you for your sharing too. So for those people who are listening to him, right, just want to share with you here, he has been with us, running with us. And I think most of my clients, I actually get him to actually help me to do it. First and foremost, because why? Because as a mortgage broker, they actually handle all the different banks. So it will be a higher chance for even for us to actually get the deal done from him. Because why? Because he can help us to manage which is a better loans, which is a better package, and sometimes to go into certain loopholes in the sense that customer may understand, hey, this is a better package. At least, you know why? Sometimes our customer thought that they can go UOB, so maybe they have their friends there, here and there. But because Kenneth actually say that DBS is better because of the rates or whatever, so eventually, right, you may actually get the referral as well. Of course, sometimes we win some, sometimes we lose some. But I think most important here is that I think working with the right people is actually crucial. I mean, myself, my wife, we have been using him for the last maybe easily 7 to 8 years. All my commercial property loan, my residential loan, everything, I pass it to him to count him, right? So at the end of the day, don't want to stress myself over all these things, but I think Kenneth has been a very great help in terms of working with me and my team, my so-called my clients as well. So I have 100% confidence in what he's doing. In fact, just recently, two of our clients who just bought one couple, one Sengkang grandmother and daughter, eventually because of the whole a little bit more complex. So eventually we still solve the problem. So eventually both units are exercised. So I think that is important, right? Do we have any fees for the service? Of course you have, right, Kenneth?
Yes.
We
So
still have our necessary fees in a sense. So, but I thought you have already spoken. Have you told them, Kenneth?
okay, I think I missed out this slide. So just to share with everyone, so when you engage us as KeyQuest Mortgage, number one, we don't charge you any fees, but we still co-share part of the referral fee with you. So as long as loan size above 500K, we actually co-share 50-50. But if loan size is less than 500K, you know how much I get. If I co-share with you, someone I really jiak cao already. Then for cases which are slightly more complicated, like maybe they have credit bureau issue, and we need 3 to 6 months to facilitate their income or to do pledging and show fund. For cases which are in this scenario, we actually don't co-share the bank's referral fee.
Yeah, I think most important for us as the agents, closing is more important than anything else rather than this kind of bank loans here. That's the reason why I don't want to be stressed. Especially we talk about decoupling, all those stuff in terms of numbers here, back-to-back calculation. If you guys are still not very comfortable or confident, Kenneth will be the best person to come in to assist you guys here in terms of facilitating. So that's the reason why till today we are still very comfortable in using him, even though I have to part some of my fees to him, because I feel it's fair. Because at the end of the day, everybody must earn some money, right? But at the end of the day, we solve our problem. Because why? Mortgage is not our full main source of income. Our income is actually come from the sale or the purchase of the property. So that is the reason why I still find that it's fair and logical for us to get someone, especially Kenneth. Of course, at the end of the day, most important is that, right, he has a team to actually service you guys here. So for those people, if you need have any support, Xiaoyu and Angelina, right, will be able to support you guys as well. So of course, at the end of the day, I always feel one thing: partnership with the right people, partnership for long term is also important. So I leave it to individual to decide whether you want to use his service or not. I let you make a better decision yourself. All right. So if not, thank you so much, Kenneth, for joining us today. So
Sure.
of course, we will pass the contact to them through this link here. So some of you can take your photograph as well. Kenneth, you want to put your handphone number there as well in the chat group so that they can actually contact you too. That will be good in a sense.
Okay, sure. I'll just post my contact number in the chat group as well. So if my response time is slightly slower, please bear with me because sometimes I'm doing some sharing. So if not, you can actually reach out to Xiaoyu or Agina. Both of them are very experienced as well. So they will be able to handle any of your inquiries or any of your obstacles you are meeting to help you to close the deal. Okay. Thank you so much, Kelvin,
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Right.
for giving us
Appreciate
the
it.
opportunity to
See you
share.
next
Thank you.
Monday.
Okay, see you on Monday.
Bye
Bye bye,
bye.
everyone.
All right. Good morning, every one of you here. Good morning, good morning, everybody. Can you all type in the chat group and tell everybody good morning? Now, let's start off with a very high first, can or not? If not, honestly speaking, I have been talking via Zoom for so long, and I probably have not even really seen each and every one of you here. Good morning to every one of you, Jackie, Benny, Tan Wee Lee, right? Kenny as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's get ourselves ready because why? I'm going to have one whole day with all of you here. Either you like me or you don't like me because why? Because you're going to you're going to stay with me for the whole day, right? It's really no joke. So that's the reason why I'm saying I'm also doing my very best because why? Wednesday, I have a consumer seminars until about 11 o'clock. Yesterday, we have another seminars as well until 11 o'clock. And this morning, I'm here again for the whole day and preparing tonight here. I have to prepare for tomorrow morning as well. Tomorrow morning is our consumer seminar. So you see, there's so many things that we are doing because we are still catching up ourselves in terms of energy. I haven't eaten my breakfast yet also because why? I'm also fasting now. So I have to wait until this time then I can eat. So honestly, I'm hungry. I also haven't drink coffee yet. I only drink water as well. So today, let's enjoy ourselves for today. And I really hope that you guys, right, can actually participate with me. All the polling question that I have for you, all the questioning that I've done for you, I want all of you to participate too, right? Because of course, the other thing that I would like to touch on, right? I hope that some of you can also be more open to actually sharing your so-called calculation or your thoughts or your delivery. My purpose of my topic today, right, beside the numbers, beside all the finances numbers here and there, right, I want to tell all of you here, it's not about the numbers. I want to tell you is how you deliver. My strength is delivery. My strength is how to make people feel comfortable. My language is sucks. My English is not as good, but I'm good in making people feel good. That's my strength here. So of course, if you really want to learn, I'll be very happy to really share with you. And of course, I think for all of you who are how I wish, do you miss singing one another or not? Because I feel that I have not seen each other for so long, you know. So I think that is the main thing that I feel this COVID has made us so distant away. But we will still work very hard to make sure that all of you can still continue to do well. If any one of you have any struggles or any issue here, please feel free to text me. Please feel free to text me so that I can do my very best to help you as well. Don't worry that Kelvin Fong is always very busy. Kelvin Fong is always very busy one. It would never be free one. How I wish one day I'm free as well, but it's impossible. So, but don't worry. I think those who has been talking to me, spoken to me, sometimes you just need someone to just open your mind or just tell you something here and there, and probably you can move forward, right? So today, my whole day with you, I have spent a lot of time with you. How I wish that I can see each and every one of you here. So no problem. We will still do our best and make everybody happy towards the end of the class here, right? So of course, I want to tell everybody I prepare a 10 sets of questions. After the seminars, after the talk, after the training of this whole PST, right? 75% of those who attended the full session, right, will be given an email, and you are supposed to answer all the questions that is done by all the trainers. And all these questions you must answer, and you must have a certain passing mark. So once you pass already, then we will give you a certificate of this. My objective is that because moving forward, as you know that the consumer are all aware about us. Consumer also wants to look for someone that is good in terms of financing, real estate especially, restructuring, helping people to actually grow their asset. So we actually have set up a Facebook. I'm not so sure how many of you know where is it. Our Facebook is PNG Academy. All right. So if you have not liked our Facebook, please come and like our Facebook as well. Because why? So that you can also, you know, why do we want to do this? Maybe I just take a quick one. Right? I hope that all of you can like us in terms of the Facebook. Those who haven't liked, why can you please help me to like first or not? Right? Why? So that you can actually what? Because why our objective of doing this? Our objective of doing this is because we want consumer to recognize PropNext. And we want consumer to recognize PNG Academy, because why? Those people who actually be part of us here, they know that very simple. All our agents are well trained. Especially myself, I've been doing a lot of seminars. I always tell people, look for our agents to help you in terms of your RAM. What is RAM? Risk Assessment Management, RAM, right? So where does RAM come from? From all our training program that we've created. So that's why your certificate is actually very important subsequently, because that will be in your website. That will be all inside here. So this is something that I hope that all of you can actually be part of this as well. So this is something that we would like to do. So I hope that all of you after today's class can also comment. Later on, I'll put in the Facebook as well. Today we are going to run this training together. So I hope that all of you can let everybody know. More people know about us, the better we are eventually. Because this current system here, moving forward, everything is online, right? Everything can see through here. So that's why it's very, very important, right, for all of you to be well connected online as well. This is the market direction. We just need to follow. We just need to be there eventually. All right. So without much further ado, let me get ourselves started as well. So for those people who are first time using Zoom, I'm not so sure you guys are first time or not. How many of you are brand new agents here? Can you type a 1 inside your chat group? How many of you brand new one? At least I know. Okay, Jason, Shi Qin, right? Na Mong, right? Jackie as well, Agnes, Ellen. Okay, good. You know why I ask this question? Because I just want to make sure that because later on, while you are attending my class here, right, some of things may be a little bit more complex, right? So you may find it a little bit more difficult for you to understand. So of course, if you have any question, feel free to type in the chat group. If not, you can ask as well towards any part of the segment that we have time to talk it over. All right. So this is what we want to achieve. Of course, for those people who are in here, please do me a favor, is to make sure that unless you want to ask question, unless you're supposed to share anything, if not, please help me to mute the mic. Because why? So that the noise will not be traveling around to everybody here. All right. So this is something that is important. And remember, we have a chat. So this is a chat group. So I myself have to monitor the chat because I want to see whether people has any question. So I have to juggle a few things together at the same time. So I will do my very best to facilitate, to ensure you guys will have make sure that I answer most of the things. All right. So this is what we need to do here. Next, of course, for those people, just a very quick recap here. You know what it's all about here, So those who are not familiar, because some people are still not very good in Zoom, my friend. It cannot be, because by moving forward, everybody must be very familiar using Zoom, right? So this is important. If not, you have problem in the future, right? So this is something that you need to do. So of course, anybody has make sure your attendance that's the most important. So today, what is my topic is about how to get into the 4 steps to create that presentation. What are the different funding techniques? Actually, in terms of how our class is called PST, right? But PST got so many classes that you need to attend. But all these classes is actually related to these 4 steps, right? That's why Gainer is talking about it. Gainer is actually talking about what? Gainer is actually focusing more on the connecting. How do you use the soft little part, right, to actually connect with people, right? My side here will be doing the financing part. How to make people feel that you are valuable, right? That is important, all right? So that's why I put in a lot of different funding strategies for you to learn, so that to make yourself be more what? Impressive among other people as well. Of course, this is what we're going to go through. So of course, at the end of the day here is to really understand the different funding techniques. Of course, the restructuring deals as well. How do you do the calculation here and there? Especially, I always, my friend, I always talk about this in my seminar called RAM, Risk Assessment Management. I always talk about this. So you all must know, because why? If not, customer asks you what is RAM, I say, I also don't know what is RAM. Right? So you all must know all these things, right? Okay, so just a disclaimer for myself. So these are the 4 things that we are talking about, needs. That's what Gainer is doing. In fact, I'll be also covering a little bit here and there myself. Right? So during these 4 little steps here, right? I mean, this is my presentation style. You guys can have your own presentation style. I leave it to you individual, how you want to do it. But there is a flow of my speech. And this is not I anyhow talk, because this is a flow that how most people are doing in the marketing in terms of guiding the customer to take action, right? Basically, we focus on this. So what do we focus on? Needs. So the needs, you see, many people don't have needs to buy property or sell property, right? It's how you make them feel excited to take action. How you make them feel that you should be growing. For example, one of our vendors, Wilson Tay, right? He's one of them that doesn't have a need to buy property. He thinks that he just wants to own a property and live throughout the years. But what did I make him to do? Because why? I said you should make use of your income to save more money to own asset. That's why 6 years ago when I know him, right, he only had 1 property. Today, 6 years later, he has 4 property. And I tell you, based on the 4 property alone, his asset now is already more than $2 million in cash. 4 years ago, 6 years ago, if I never asked him to do that, right, he would never have that kind of saving as much. So that's the reason why it's important for all of you here. Today, after the class, right, all of you must see yourself, you are someone valuable. A lot of agents did not manage to do very well. Not that you cannot do well, because you yourself do not see the value in you. You always think that, oh, I don't have the value. I don't think I'm good enough. Some people even worried about, hey, Kelvin, I don't even own properties. How do I tell people to own properties? I do not even invest in property. How am I going to share with people about investment? So, my friend, if any one of those people asks you, how should you reply? Anybody who would like to tell me how should you reply? If the customer, after you talk so much, right? After you talk so much, the customer asks you, hey, then have you invested in the property? What will you say? Anybody? Right, to start off, anyone? Anybody would like to share with us how you would reply? Alan, pilot also don't own a plane. That's powerful. But can we answer this way? Alan, why not you open your mic and talk to me?
Hi, morning, Kelvin.
Hi, morning, Alan. So how would you reply if the customer were to ask you this question? How would you reply the customer in such a way to make them feel comfortable about you? You see, the rest of the people here, right? The training that I'm doing today, right? Please don't ask me to talk the whole day, because why? I will be very shaky. But not so much about that. I want to see how to, you see, throughout all the training later on that we go through, right? I want to guide you guys in terms of your presentation. How do you make the people feel comfortable? No right, no wrong answer, but I just want you to see how it's being done, right? Okay, good. Alan, and at the same time, when someone is talking, right, everybody must listen, right? Please don't go and do your own thing. Why? Because I want you to feel whether when the person say, how do you feel? right? I hope that someone can actually feedback. All right, Alan, you mind people feedback or not?
Hi Kelvin, I'm new RES, so I just try to see how to.
I like new I like new RES. You know why? Because all the old RES will not put up his hand one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, new RES strong one. That's why I like new people. New people, just like myself, we all knew that time, right? Everything also okay on and one. Old people, after that certain year, they say, paiseh lah, don't know what lah, here and there lah. So to all the experienced agent here, right? Please, don't make me feel that you never put up your hand. So Alan, how should you reply?
Basically, I would think that actually, Mr. Buyer, it's not important that whether I invest or not, but it's more important that if I can let you know what is your option to moving forward and what is the best way able to reach your goal. I think this is rather more important. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll answer that way.
Okay, good. Alan, thank you so much. Alan, no right, no wrong answer. I think you have answered well. I think you spoke in a very smooth and comfortable way. I think, of course, I say to the buyer says that, I mean, for my opinion here is that, I say, Mr. Buyer, yes, I have not invested in any property yet. Doesn't matter. Most important is I just want to ask you a question. Throughout the last 1.5 hours that we have spoken, how do you find my presentations? Do you feel that you have learned something? Do you feel that you can do something for yourself? Of course, myself, I'm working towards it. I want to own my first property too. That's my desire. If not, how would I want to share with people? But of course, everybody take times or not. Everybody take times. But again, my job is very simple. I want to help you. I want to see you be able to achieve like most people have done it. Because of what I've learned, because of what I've gone through, and because of my encounters with so many of the investors out there, I exactly know what these people are doing. And that's the reason why I've been very, very happy to really help you guys to achieve the desired goal that you want to. This is how I will reply. Actually, Alan, just now, when you reply, you see, most important, you must not have fear. Of course, Alan is not easy because why? For talking in front of me is also another, some people will feel very stressful because why? They're worried about how people look at you, right? But again, the most difficult person to overcome is actually me. Because you will think that you want to make sure you do better in front of the person that you look at, right? But I want you all to get used to it because ultimately all of us can deliver. All of us can deliver. I myself have not, I mean, it took me so many years to build what I have today in terms of my delivery, in terms of how I connect with people. Of course, my job is to really assist each and every one of you here to improve, right? So that's why, like Alan, just now you have spoken, actually it's not bad. It's just that I just feel that inside your speech, there is a little bit of doubts in you. You have a little bit of fear in you. That's the only thing that I can feel you in a sense. But definitely for start, you have done well. I think the rest of the people here, right? How do you feel, Alan? Do you feel that he spoke well or not? If yes, can you type in the chat group, say yes or not? You see, Sunday, oh, thank you so much, Daryl, as well. So Alan, you see, everybody say good, right? I mean, this is how we want to encourage everybody, right? Thank you so much, Jeffrey, Caroline, Catherine. Thank you so much for participating with me as well. Thank you. Of course, as I mentioned here, first, you need to what? Make the person, because why? A lot of agents I spoke to, right? They always have this concern one. Like for example, right? I have another question for all of you here. I want to hear again. Now that you see, sometimes all of you probably have attended some of my consumer seminar, right? And you also have taken a lot of some of my slides, some of my research, right? To go and speak to your customer. Am I right to say that? So I want to ask everyone a question. I want to ask everyone a question now. If your customer asks you this, George, since you put up your thumb, right? George, can I ask you, are this research done by you? What would you say, George? George, do you mind to on your mic, George Im?
Yes.
Thank you,
Kelvin,
George.
good
Yes.
morning.
Morning, George. If the customer asks you this question, if let's say you, oh wow, George, you have been using so many of your research. Can I ask you, George, are you the one who actually created this?
I
Reply.
I'll do some research myself, and I also try to get the best of my team leaders' presentation.
Are you done, George?
Yes.
Okay, good. George, can I ask you a question? How do you feel when you are replying me this?
I'm just replying to you, but I won't say that to my clients.
Oh, no. I want you to tell me how you speak to your client. Don't tell me about speaking to me. Speak to me for nothing. If the client really asks you this, how will you reply? Hey, the rest of the people, you don't just listen, you also must think, no.
Yes, I've done the research myself.
You have done the research yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Research done by my team and I. Why you take so long to reply me? George. You know why I ask this question to the rest of the people? Because I have people who really says that, oh, Mr. Buyer, of course, all this research is done by my company. In fact, all this research, I actually, I get it from my leaders. Like just how Josh was saying, I do some research myself. I also gather some of my leaders as well. I feel that, you see, Josh, this is the initial phase that you're talking on. It's definitely from you. But I want to tell everybody, all of you here, when people ask you this question, you must be confident. I say, Mr. Buyer, yes, definitely, all this research is actually done by me. And why do I say that it's done by you? Because why? You have been attending my seminars, right? Am I right to say that? Do you actually listen to me first before you actually create all your slides? You did, ma. It's whether you do. You see, if you are taking people and you never listen, that is called copy, right? But you have actually listened to my speech or whatever other people's speech or whoever the person is. You gather information and put into your slide. Is that your research? It's your research. Don't be worried. You see, do not say, oh, I gathered the research from my Kelvin, Fong or whoever here and there. But at the end of the day, then the thing here is that, does it give you confidence? People buy a property because of you, because of your confidence, because of how you deliver, because you make them feel comfortable, because you make them feel good about it. So you must be what? You must be confident. Say, Mr. Buyer, yes, this is done by me. Why? Because I spent a lot of time researching. Because why? To be able to meet up with you, to be able to speak to you, if I don't have all this information, I will feel very lousy. And to you, my desire is to provide you with facts. I do not want to talk to a customer based on emotion, tell you how the floor plan look like, how the projects look like. I do not want to do this kind of superficial thing. For me, I always believe one thing. Facts. 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 You see, when I do my talk, you realize if you are listening to me, how I do facts. And I write. I keep on writing. Why? Because of why I want you to anchor. I want the customer to what? Look at this. I look at facts. The last thing that we want to buy a property is based on how we feel. And that's called risk. That's called risk. And I do not want that to happen to my buyer. So, George.
Yes, I'm still here.
If you hear what I say and versus what you say, right? What is the difference?
Your reply is very convincing.
No, it's not about convincing. It's because I have this thing called what? Care element. To all the people who are listening, care. You see, when I speak that time, right, I always focus about who? You, Mr. Buyer. The last thing that I want to do here is what? To show you just floor plans, to show you just pictures, or just talk about buy and sell without giving you a facts. That's not what I want. I do not want my customer, end of the day, buy thing, do not know about facts and figures. So you see, Josh, to the rest of the people, what is the key factor? What is the thing that you must take away here? The thing that you must take away here is what? Have I spoken to my customer using this word called care in my brain? Many a times, most people just like to talk. Oh, this research is done by me. All right, that's all. But is there effectiveness there? No. Is there a use over there? No. You must make people feel that I do this for what purpose? Because I want to make sure that my customers are well taken care of. So you must learn how to watch, George. Talk at the same time, make them feel who? Comfortable.
I'm acting in their interest.
Yes. And that is important. Why? Let me get out of this person. Why is it important? Because why? You are here. Trust. You are now making that trust, right, closer. That's why a lot of time many people speak to customer is just only talking, right? But you did not make them feel that about you, right? You must make them feel that, oh, I'm talking to you. I want to help you. I want to care for you. And this is the part that I'm talking about here, called trust. So remember, the rest of the people, when you are talking, you must build what? Trust. You must build what? Connectivity. You must make them feel that what? You do a lot of things for who? For them. But a lot of time, many people, I listen to the way they speak, right? Is, oh, this is what? This is this information. That is that information. No. Especially those of you who have been attending my seminars, my consumer webinar. You are not here to just listen to my statistics. Statistics, very easy one. You must listen to how I deliver. How do I make them feel it? That is important. Make them see that, wow, you know, if you know this information, how will it help you? So these are the things that you must put in a little bit of what? Care element. All right, so this is how it works. And thank you so much, George, and just now Ellen as well. Why do I want you guys to speak up? You see, so that when you speak up, right, when I facilitate this way, right, you guys can learn better. Am I right to say that to the rest of people? Do you learn something so far? If yes, you can type in the chat group, say yes or not. Ah, okay, good. At least I know that you know what I'm talking about, lah. So I also feel good, right? You see, I also must be encouraged, you know, right, to the rest of people here. So this is something that I want you to listen. So later on, right, you all must volunteer, say, hey, I want to speak. Why? So that I can help you to turn around. Hey, you only have that 8 hours with me, you know. You must maximize me, right? Maximize in such a way that you can actually see. Yes, like the way you put it. Yes, yes, email. Yes, you need to do this. So I want you all to learn. I want you to remember one thing. How do I make my customer feel good about who am I? In fact, in a presentation, you are not putting statistics. You are not just talking about numbers. Actually, throughout the whole presentation, right, you must make them feel that you are someone who has value, someone who has confidence, someone who cares for me, must have that. Because only with this, people will see yourself different. If not just about running through, now I work out your sum, how much you can sell, how much you can buy, all these things, I won't talk now. All this I won't talk, right? Build credential. What is build credential? That means I'll show some statistic here and there, right? If you look at my consumer seminar, some of these statistics, for example, today, what is the most important one? Why should I buy or sell now? This is one of the key. One of the key today. So you need to justify with who? What? Facts and figure and information, right? Tomorrow, in fact, my seminar, main bulk of the thing that I'm going to talk about is actually here. Tomorrow, my seminar, right? My focus is this. Why I should buy now? Why should I sell now? This is the part, right? Next, we call identify. So the next thing when we talk about restructuring, right, is called product. All of you must have a product in mind. OCR, RCR, CCR, either one. If you are good enough, Like for example, brand new agents here. It's very difficult for you to really look at this. For those who are very new in the industry, right? I really urge all of you here to start off with is to sell EC first. Why do I say sell EC first? Because EC is a no-brainer. You don't need to compare many things. But if you want to talk about OCR, what is the problem? We got north, south, east, west, all the different areas. So why should I buy north? Why not I buy east? Why not I buy west? So there is a lot of complexity inside there, unless you are very good enough. Because I realized that a lot of new agents here, they don't have the confidence to deliver and compare. As a result, what happened? They cannot make the customer what? Believe in them. And that is my concern. That is my concern. So that's the reason why for new people out there, if you're not familiar, start off by selling the EC first. EC, very straightforward, price only, where the location. So you don't need to spend a lot of time to really brainwash them. No need. Let me do the job or let you do the job, I'm not fine, right? But important here is what? If those who are good enough, you must know, like for me, right? If I want to sell a property today, I know exactly which project I want to sell on. You cannot say leave it to the buyer. A buyer, you tell me what you like, I will go for and look for you. I won't do that. I will make sure I know what I want to sell. If the customer is already very confirmed to buy new launch, right? I will know which project to sell. Because new launch is always about what? Investment. All those people who tells me, Kelvin, I want to buy for own stay, I want to buy for investment, I always tell them one thing. You can never find your ideal unit one. Because own stay, you want a better unit, better facing. Investment, no choice. It's only price. May not be the best unit. So the problem here is that how do I find that kind of development? That's why a lot of agents lost a lot of opportunity in closing it at where? During new launches, during balloting time, they lost all the opportunity. Why? Because why? They want to buy for own stay and also investment. A lot of agents are stuck into the situation. Customer want to buy for own stay and investment. I tell you, once your customer in this kind of mind, they cannot make decision. I have agents who are in the lot in number 10 queue, did not buy the property. Why? Because one day before a lot of units sold, maybe VVIP or agents purchase here and there, right? So even the number 10 queue, he never buy anything. Why? Because expectation. I expect the price to be 2005, but now it's 2007 because why? Higher floor unit. He wants a higher floor. My own stay definitely want a higher floor, right? But end day, what happened? They cannot. They thought that it's 2005, but it's 2007. Did they buy the property? No. But that's why I'm saying, if you want to sell new launches, own stay is also investment. That means I will position all my customer investment. Very simple to all the rest of people who are listening to me now. Listen to me now. If you really sell, for example, treasure to them, right? But they are not staying in treasure one, that area Tampines. They are all the while in the west, for example. How do you bring someone from the west to the east? They say, I'm not staying there. I don't want to stay there. I say, Mr. Buyer, if you agree with me, Mr. Buyer, if I just now share with you treasure, do you think that the price is worth to invest? And do you see a potential? Because the price is about 1,300 versus the other side is 1,600 per square foot. Which one do you think the risk is higher? Ultimately, Mr. Buyer, my objective is what? I only have one thing in mind. How can you make money in the east side? Cash out your money. Later on, I will cover what is called equity, all those stuff. Later on, I'll cover. How can you cash out a property to own another property? One of my strategy is to use your profit to own your own house to stay. One of my strategy is, I'll tell the customer, one of my strategies, talk softer, you all must listen to how I deliver, right? You must make them feel that you have a lot of what? Strategies. So you will say, one of my strategy. Why? Because they know that you are different. And I tell you, Mr. Buyer, every customer is so different. That's why I need to adopt the right strategy for you. Again, you are trying to do what? Trust. You see, trust. You again trying to what? Sell yourself. Which is your value. So in presentation, it's not about running through information. It's all about how to make people buy you. That is the crucial part. So even comes to identify which project, you must decide. If I want to sell Sengkang Grand, I'll sell Sengkang Grand. If I want to sell Pasir Ris 8, I'll sell Pasir Ris 8. I'm very clear in my mind. I cannot have differences. For example, I have another question for all of you here. If the customer asks you, Kelvin, then you only show me Sengkang Grand properties. Then what about other projects? Why are you not showing me other projects if I'm buying for investment? How would you reply? Anybody would like to reply me this question? If your customer asks you this question, how would you want to reply? Anyone? Anybody would like to try any of the new RES would like to try? Anybody?
Boss,
Yes.
my name is Alfred. I will try.
Good, Alfred.
Okay. So I will reply to the customer saying that, Mr. Buyer, there are actually several good projects over here, right? But why do I recommend Sengkang Grand to you is because after assessing your needs and your portfolio, we have eventually zoomed down to this one project, which is Sengkang Grand, which is most suitable for you, right? So yes, I can of course introduce you to many other projects because at the end of the day, so long you buy, I will earn, right? But is that what you really want? No, right? We want to only recommend what is most suitable to your current needs and situations. Yeah, this is how I will share.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Alfred. No right, no wrong answer. All right, for me, I would like to share with you is that, Mr. Buyer, I totally understand your concern. Really, because why? Every customer wants to see more. Every customer would like to discover more. And I'm perfectly fine to show you many different projects. But the only thing here is that why do I actually choose this particular product? It's because I've done all the necessary research. I'm not the normal agents out there who just focus on showing projects just like a tour guide. For me, if I only do one thing, comes to investment, there's only one good one. If the agents cannot even decide and tell you exactly which one is good one and bring you around to see many different things, is that something that you want? For me, I'm very clear. If you see how I do my work, how much research that I put in, I have done my part. That's why I only want to find the best unit for you. Just, Mr. Buyer, can I ask you a question? If today I give you 5 choices in front of you, do you dare to choose them? My question is, because if the agent tell you, actually this one also not bad, that also not bad, that also not bad. So the question is, which one is the best? I say, Mr. Buyer, if I do not even know what is the best, then I'm doing a disfavor to you. I'm not doing the right thing for you. Therefore, I'm okay. If you want, I can show you around and show you many different projects. I'm fine. So this is something that how I will actually deliver, talking to the customer based on that. So this is how I will actually reply the customer accordingly. So Alfred, this is how I will do it. How do you find?
Thank you, boss. Learn something new.
Learn something new. Learn what?
What you, I mean, the way that you present it to the buyer lah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the principle are the same, but it's the words and the emotions that you actually incur lah, that is very different.
Exactly. Actually, you have the content. You have the content, just lack a little bit more of the care and concern. You see, it's actually the truth here is that a lot of people, we are used to just deliver the information, but we are not used to, right, putting in the soft element inside. That is the main thing. Actually, I want to tell everybody, the restructuring is the gist of the restructuring is the softness. How do you make people feel good? This is the most difficult one. But I normally feel that the ladies should be quite good. Men's a little bit straight. Right? Ladies, so what? I've not heard anybody, ladies from the ground speaking. Next round, I want to make sure got ladies. It's surprisingly, I normally think that ladies will always speak one. All the ladies don't know where is it. Right? I thought that ladies is always very emotion, can talk well. Ladies, next one, when I ask question, I want to hear you guys because why? I want to make sure that I want to hear how the ladies deliver to make people feel good, right? So ladies are very good in emotional words, making people feel good about it, right? So later on, I shall see. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Alfred, as well. So the next thing is we talk about is identify. All of you must identify. Cannot anyhow one. Oh, this one, a lot of you guys have been listening to my webinar. Then I tell you, all of you angry with me as well. Why? This Kelvin Fong, every project also was very good. How do I know which one is good? God or not, behind the back, everybody scold me, right? Right? I know very well because you guys are always saying, oh, this person, one of my agent was saying, one of the agent was telling me, Kelvin, this one you can also turn until like that. I do not know how to. But I have no choice, to be honest. I really have no choice because I need to answer to you. I need to answer to developer. But of course, deep in my heart, I will sell what I'm comfortable with. I will sell what I will buy. So the first thing that you must do here is what? Ask yourself this question. When it comes to identify, which one will I buy myself? If you dare not even buy yourself, right, that means this is not the right one. You cannot, because of commissions, I want to sell 9%, 10% because why it pays even more. But your heart, how do I sell? I cannot even convince myself. Then that means this is not the right project. For me and my wife, when we do sales, we always discuss with one another, which one will I buy? Then we will discuss and come up with a conclusion. How would I sell this project? Because I believe this way. So all of you must do that. If not, you will fail one. I can tell you 100% fail. Right? Then come to the last one called why sell. Do you realize that when we meet a seller today, right? I never thought about selling. Never. I create the intention first. I build the contrast first. I make them see how do I identify a product. Actually is important, Why? Why a seller want to sell a property? The seller want to sell a property because they see another great opportunity. So is this very important now? Very important. You cannot ask the seller to sell a property when they don't have a plan. They don't see opportunity. Everyone is like that one. If we see opportunity, we will want to take action. But if we don't see opportunity, will we want to take action? No. That's why this is very crucial. If you can find a project, you don't say, Mr. Buyer, I want to share with you this project. I find that this project very worth to buy. I tell you, this is wrong. Wrong delivery. Wrong delivery. You see, in my seminars, how I do it. I say, Mr. Buyer, today I'm going to use this example called Sengkang Grand. This example, I'm going to show you, right, how I use this example to show you how do I look at a property, whether it can make money or not make money. Or I will say case study. Why? Because we cannot be seen selling property. You cannot say, oh, this is a very good project, I'm going to share with you now. Cannot. Once you do this, you already start selling. So I always say, today I'm going to use this case study called Treasure to explain to you how I do my research, how I do my numbers, to justify whether this property worth to buy or not. I leave the final decision to you. Actually, if you are doing this, you are already indirectly selling. So at the end of the day, the customer, if they like this, they will say, Kelvin, still have or not? That means you have done the right thing. If the customer never asks you, is it good or not, right? That means wrong thing. That means you fail. So this is something that you must what? Take note of, right? This is the way. Okay, so after that, right, then you talk about why sell. Why sell is why people should take action and change their portfolio, how they use their money to roll more money, how they sell and then cash out the property. Like for example, after I convince my customer to take action, right, the last part is called why people choose to sell. Because why? They cash out the money. Like one of the customers that I deal with, right, I sell the property, I bought 2 private property, never used a single cent at all from his saving. And he still have buffer for them to own the property and still have enough to pay installment. This is the reason why I say you should sell. Sell to use your money, your CPF to work hard for you. So this is the 4 steps, the systematic one. Systematic one. Straight step by step. So if you, this is my flow of, this is how I do presentation to my customer. Until today, I still do the same thing. I never change. Until today, I still do the same thing. So I leave it to you. Why I want to do this is because why a lot of new agents are here. New agents, you need to have a flow. If not, your mind has too many things. Especially you have attended so many classes, right? Your mind also blur. So many things to take already. Jin Luan, right? Because you are trying to kiasu also, want to learn as much as possible. I tell you, don't learn so much. Learn so much will be very corrupted. Sometimes learn too much also blur. So don't learn so much. Put down your flow. All of you, those who are new people here or whatever, don't think so much. Follow my step. Very simple one. Won't go wrong one. Because why? I practice what I do. I close my deal, also follow one. So this is how it works. So this is the 4 steps that you would like to learn and how to go about doing it. All right. So that is how we go about talking about the 4 things. That's why in the training, right, we cover all these different things. All the different parts will be covered by different people. So my part is going to talk about what? Funding planning. Funding. Right, so this is how we have done it in a sense. So basically, what is the funding planning? We're going to go through what? 8 different types. Restructuring, redefining, all these things we're going to go through today, whole day. So just take note of that as well. So of course, it's really a bit numbers, a lot of calculation required here and there. Don't worry, we will practice. Let's rehearse, let's do more. Okay. So the first one that I would like to touch on is this. So Alan and Janet is having a private property, right? So they insisted on not selling their property but seeking to buy another investment property. Their age is 39 and both income is 7K. The outstanding loan is this. They wish to buy the new home under Janet and getting 75% loan. Is it possible? So the question is it possible? Wait. So wait. So the question is it possible? Let me see. Okay, I want to ask all of you here, is it possible? Please help me to type the answer inside the poll. All right, try to give me the answer as much as possible. All of you, please type in your answer. All right, let's see. Don't decouple. No need to decouple. No need. So this is the reply. Say some 65% of the people say yes. Some say no. Not sure. Right. Let's see. So basically, right, first thing that we must talk about here is about refinancing, right? We must understand Alan plus Janet. We must know this thing called owner, borrower. Owner, borrower. These are the two things that you must find out. Because why? In order to actually for them to actually get a 75% loan, right? The first thing that we must do is what? The first thing that we must do is to make sure what? The borrower status is gone. So when we talk about refinancing, what does it mean? Is to free up one person, right, from taking the loan. That's called refinancing. So what I need to do here is to go to the bank, get the bank to do a refinance. So refinance, I have to take out Janet name, borrower, right? So Alan, as long as Alan can take the loan 100% over, Janet will be able to remove the borrower. So first thing that you must do is what? Get the bank to assess whether can Alan took over the full 100% loan. Because last time, right, they maybe buy the property under joint tenancy, husband and wife. Their loan is also combined, right? As a result, what happened? We need to check whether does Alan alone can qualify, right, to take up a full loan or not. So the bank must do the job. So if let's say Alan is able to do so, right, we can remove Janet from being a borrower. Then Janet will be able to come out and buy another property with 75% loan. That's how it works. Of course, must pay ABSD lah, right? That's why we could talk about decoupling later on, but now not yet, because some people don't want to remove names, right? Because some people's die-hard fans say that I cannot. How can you make my husband and wife? I don't have ownership in the house. I don't feel comfortable. Some people are like that. So that's why the first thing you must do is what? Refinancing. Please take note of this. All right. Anybody don't understand so far? So far, okay. Everybody clear? So our objective is what? Is to refinance the person being a borrower. Just now we talked about O and B, right? So that he can take a 75% loan. So both owners are borrowers. So that's why when you meet up with your customer that time, you must identify O plus B. Then you know whether which one to do. All right. So this is how it works. Okay, this one should be quite clear for most of you. So next thing that I want to talk about here is the guarantor scheme. Borrower, guarantor. What's the difference? You know, every one of us is being seen in the credit bureau search. All of you, all of us, we are under this system called credit bureau. So we basically, under credit bureau, right, I would know whether, right, you have took a loan or not. You have a car loan or not. You have a personal loan or not. All the credit will be able to see one. That's how it works. But the difference between G, which is guarantor, right? What's the difference? If you are a guarantor of certain things here and there to buy things, buy installment, buy anything, right? As a guarantor, this one is not seen at all. Credit bureau. You know, some of our customers, they are under the O scheme of the bank. O scheme in the bank, right, is under guarantor scheme. Like for example, me, I guarantor my mom to own a property. Last time, but now cannot already. They removed the measure. I mean, with the cooling measure, they removed this in 2007. So as a result, no more guarantor at the end of the day here. So, but some of your customer existing is under guarantor scheme one. So you may want to find out, are they guarantor or are they under personal? So this is something that you must also what? Take note of as well, right? So if you're under guarantor, the good news here is in a credit bureau, you can't see. That is how it works. Huh? So for example, today, if you want to buy a commercial property, all of you, please take note. If you want to buy a commercial property, please don't use a personal name to buy. Don't use personal name. You know why? Once you use a personal name to buy, right, your loan will be under this. But if you use a ABC Private Limited to buy this property, right, who is the borrower? The borrower is ABC. The borrower. So who is the guarantor? The guarantor is actually the directors of this company. So as the director, I guarantor ABC Private Limited to own this commercial property. That's how it works. So this is how it works. So remember, I want to tell you very serious, because a lot of agents, they never do it right. So they get their customer to buy commercial property under personal name. Today, some of the customers are stuck. They cannot even buy any residential property because their loan already maxed out. Once you are a borrower, as I mentioned, it's already in here, credit bureau search. As a guarantor, it will not be seen here. So that is very, very important. Very important. So please take note of that as well. So now that's the reason why, and I want to tell all of you here, right? For guarantor, there is only one bank, which is UOB. Please take note. Only UOB. Most of us are dealing with residential banker. Those bankers that you know of, majority of them are residential banker. But UOB, residential banker, can actually do company loans. Can do company loans. That means ABC Private Limited. But the problem is, they are using borrower, which we don't want. But the rest of the banks, they are different. They use SME banking, small, medium enterprise banking. So all of this SME banking, the rest of the bank, their loans are under guarantor. That means they use ABC Private Limited as a borrower. The guarantor is the director. That's how it works. All right. So why do I say this is important? Because why? Sometimes your customer tells you, Kelvin, I have 2 commercial property, 1 residential property. Or maybe I tell you, I say, George, for example, I have 3 commercial property. So the first thing is that, wow, my salary is $8,000, for example. Wow, then you will think 3 commercial property, $8,000 straight away, no need to think, no need to buy any more residential. The truth is not. The truth here is that you must find out your commercial property is under what? Company name or not. If it's under personal name, what happened? Gone. But company name, got chance. So the next question you must ask is what? Which bank? UOB or what? So if other bank, you know it's very safe already. But UOB, you must even further to discover, is it borrower or guarantor? So these are something that you must take note of. So, of course, if you, for example, this customer is taking a loan from Maybank for his commercial property, right? Do you want to go back to the same bank and apply residential? You don't want. You go to other bank. Because within the same bank, right, they can see all your credit. But other banks, right, for example, UOB, right, they cannot see Maybank for guarantor, for commercial purchase. So that the loan can be easily what? Taken care of. And all these things, why must you know, my friend? Why all of you must know? Because you see, if you don't know all these things, what will happen next? Your customer will be at risk when they buy the wrong thing, take the wrong loans. You are going to affect them in the future. I have a friend who has 2 commercial properties, and both of them cannot sell, right? It's all under personal name. Today, she cannot buy a residential property at all. Can you see how scary it is and how bad it is? The agent did not do the right job. So why am I telling all of you here? Because I want you to know one thing. You are valuable. You have values. Because why? You engage yourself to do the right thing. You engaging yourself means doing the right thing. Like one of the customers who attended my property workshop course, actually the customer went to buy a property with an agent. This couple paid additional buyer's stamp duty 4 years or 5 years ago. And they did not tell them that, right, they can actually claim back their ABSD. That means what do I say? No. That means these agents went to actually help them to buy this resi, and they have a HDB property. They pay ABSD for this. I'm not so sure why last time they never asked them to decouple the HDB. Last time still can do. So they pay ABSD. The agent also never tell them how they can claim back until they meet us. So because now the project just TOP, you know, right, those who pay ABSD, you can actually sell your HDB within 6 months. You still can claim back what you pay for this ABSD. So please take note of this. Please take note of this. But the customer doesn't know until we met them. So we help them to save $50,000, $60,000 out of it because he attended our class. So I want to tell you, sometimes a lot of agents, all these small little details was not taken care of. So as a result, what happened? The customer pay for all this. I see a lot of agents, they make the kind of mistakes. That's why I want to tell you guys here, you are very, very valuable. Because why? You are certified one by us. That's why you need to pass 75%. My 10 question, I give it to you. You see how many percent you will pass. I've done the whole night to do up all the 10 questions for all of you to see whether you will pass or not. Because all these things is you must know one. Right? So after the whole class is over until the last one, 75% of the people who attended, right? You will be emailed with the question and you must answer. Right? So this is how it works. All right, so now let's move on. I saw some of the question come in. Let me come back to you again. So guarantor. So why do we use guarantor? It's because we are not seen in the credit bureau. So when can we use this? Is to buy a property under company name. Right? Just now I mentioned to you already. Please take note. So I want to ask everyone this question now. Please help me to answer. Right? Look at your notes. How will you answer? How can it be not sure? Not sure, that means you don't understand what I'm talking about. Please help me to answer. Okay, good. Let's see the answer. Residential first, then industrial. Wow, 53%. Right? 53% says that residential first, industrial. 41% say industrial, then residential. 7% say not sure. Wow. That means just now I talked for so long. That means got 50% of people don't understand what I'm talking about. That's a bit sad. That's a little bit sad. That means I have failed in my explanation. Why should we buy Resi first? You see, if you buy Resi first, what is the problem? It will be a B. So if you are a borrower, you'll be seen where? Credit bureau search. So straight away, gone already. Your loan exposed. But if you buy an industrial first, what is the difference? It's a G. Right? Guarantor ma. Then, will it be seen in the credit bureau search? No. So, if I buy an industrial first, then next I buy a Resi. Can it be done? Can it be done? Because the first one that I did is G. Then second one I do is a G, so become B. So, the first thing that I did here is the industrial, where nobody can see us. My loan is exposed. As long as don't go back to the same bank, go to another bank, right? For example, this one I go UOB. This one I go OCBC. So as a result, can it be done? Done. So my friend, can you see what's the problem? If I engage the 53% of the agent, that's it. I can only buy one property. But if I engage the 41%, I can buy two property. Hey, can you see how scary it is, my friend? So must understand how it works. Your customer future depend on you, right? Your customer future depend on you. So you must understand that what can be done, what cannot be done. If not, later on we'll have trouble, right? So of course I don't blame you guys.
Boss,
Yeah.
Alfred.
So the first time cannot use UOB, right?
Sorry. Okay, when you suddenly talk, you must also say, "Hi, Kelvin. I am who and who lah." Don't suddenly talk, scared me, Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi, Kelvin.
Who is that?
Cheryl here.
Cheryl.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did mention that for the first time, don't use UOB, right? Because it will be shown as borrower, not guarantor.
Oh, you can still use UOB, but you go to the commercial bankers, not residential banker. Actually, UOB got two type of banker. One is resi banker. One is commercial banker, which is SME. Just that a lot of agents tend to use back your own banker, which is the resi. That is the danger over it. So for commercial property, must always go to what? SME banking. That's the important one. All right, Cheryl.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Boss, this is Alfred.
Alfred, yes.
Yeah. So you are saying that once they become a borrower, they cannot be a guarantor.
You mean you buy an industrial?
No, if I buy a residential first, and then I will become a borrower, right?
Yep,
so once I buy a residential as a borrower, then I cannot be a guarantor as an industrial.
You can, but just that your loan only got $1 million maximum loan only. You buy one residential already wipe off everything already.
But because when I buy this industrial as a guarantor, right?
Yep.
The loan is go according to the company, not as an individual borrower, right?
Correct, but then how the bank assess your loan?
Based on a company law?
No. If let's say for example, that's why you must not buy resi first, you must buy commercial first, You see how the industrial banker works. Not say industrial banker, the commercial banker work. First they check where? I want to check whether, you see, you know commercial TDSR, right? For commercial is based on what? 4.5%, right? Residential is 3.5, right? So they will check whether the banker will do two things. They will check, do you have a loan existing? They will check whether you have residential loan. They will check whether you have private loan. They will check whether you have car loan. They will check whatever loan before they grant the loan. But because, Alfred, you went to buy a residential, is your loan exposed?
Yes.
So you are already gone already, right? But today, I buy an industrial property under company name first. Credit bureau go inside and the banker go credit bureau and search, right? What can they see?
Nothing.
Nothing, right? So I want to buy a resi. I can grant you the loan because why? I never see you in any loans, So that's the trick that you need to do. You must buy in commercial first, followed by resi. That's how it works.
Okay, thank you, boss.
Okay, no problem. So this is the part that you need to what? Know. How to set up company name. Of course, get accountants to go about doing it. So not a big issue. Normally, please do private limited instead of sole proprietor. Because sole proprietor, they are still looking at the personal name, which is yourself. So if I'm not wrong, all the while I'm buying commercial property, I use company name to buy. Or private limited. It's the most easier. Don't go and stress yourself over that. All right, Xing Yi was asking if owner has HDB shop houses with residential element but under company name, will it count as residential? Yes, of course, because your upstairs is a residential property. Wei Jian was asking, right, would you set it up as a GST? If I'm buying a commercial property, right, if I'm buying a commercial property from an owner, which is a GST registered, I will set up a GST registered. Even though every time I set up a company, actually there's no activities one. It's an empty shell. So why empty shell? The bank will also lend the money because the bank looked at who? The guarantor. That's why the loan was being approved. So how do I set up a GST? Hey, you don't have 1 million product revenue, This is called volunteer GST. Voluntary GST registered company. There is one that is based on your transaction value, you become a GST. On the other hand, like Propnex is a GST registered because of the values. But if it's an empty shell, it's called voluntary GST registered. So I can claim back what? I can claim back my GST. All right. Yeah, the company has no activity, is okay. Just like what Catherine, I just mentioned only this one. All right, are we clear? So far clear lah, Anybody not sure one? No, Next question. Now is double confirm whether you understand what I'm talking about. So what is your answer? Wow, why got different answer one? Jialat liao. All right, let's see the answer. So what is the answer? 1.034. So how do we do that? Let's look at our calculators. They want to buy a residential banking, right? So residential, right? So we look at what? TDSR, right? So based on TDSR, what's their income like? What's their income? What's their income? Income is 10,000, age 45. So what is the answer? 1034. Actually, we don't need to divide by 2 lah, but basically just put 10,000, you want put 1% is also because it's quite equal ma. So doesn't matter. But most important, you all must find out the answer, right? How it works. So it's 1.034 million. Right? So some of you here, I do not know why you get the other answer. I don't know why you get $1.3 million loan. I do not know how you get it. So please make sure that you just use a financial calculator. You can work out already. So because they are under commercial loan, right? And I told you, right, they are under Maybank. So under Maybank is what type of loan? Under G. So they do not have a residential banker property. That's why all these things you must know why, because so that you know what is the right way to do so. How is the financing like under company? Does banker take 75% of the guarantor loan eligibility? Yes, of course. They will based on the loan amount that they want to get, 75% or 80% loans. So from there, they will assess whether they can grant the loan or not accordingly, based on the income. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to talk about here is called gearing, right? So what does it mean by gearing? Gearing means what? Gearing means that when someone property already make money, right? How can I cash out the money to actually use the money for other purposes? Technically speaking, just to let everybody know, when someone actually make money from the existing property, they want to cash out their money, they can cash out. But this cash out amount, right, technically speaking, cannot use it to buy another property by right. By left, you decide what is the best. You can actually do that. Because most of the time, most people do that is because why they cash out. Generally, they use it to buy properties. But when you want to buy another property, please don't go to the same bank where you actually gear up. So it's quite obvious. You go to another bank, you go to other bank, people generally don't bother. Because not every time people are doing that. So not as scary it is. But why must you know this? Because this is important. Because some of your customer today, they sell their property, for example. They sell their HDB example. They want to buy a private property. But most of the time, not everyone can actually sell one HDB and buy two private at the same time. Not everybody. So you can also suggest to them that you buy the first property under your husband's name first. If your property actually makes money, 3 years down the road, when you cash out the money, you can use this money to give it to your wife to own another property. That can be done. So that's the reason why it's not about just sell one and buy two. No, you can also sell one, buy one, you gear up and buy another one. So this is how it works, right? So when owner make profit but do not wish to sell but wanted to buy, right? This is just what I'm trying to say just now. So let's do a calculation based on this. If we go by manual calculation, besides we use the calculator later on, right? Alan currently has a fully paid out apartment. He would like to buy another property for investment. Can he get another 75% loan? Right? Can he get another 75% loan? Can. Yes. So you see, how does the formula work? Basically, we take 75% times 2 million minus your outstanding loan minus your CPF refund, it will equivalent to this amount. How much is that? 75% of $2 million is what? Right? It's here. So it's 1.5 million minus your outstanding, minus your CPF, you get back 1.3 million. So this 1.3 million is called what? It's called term loan. Okay, if let's say for example today, this one there is a 300,000 outstanding loan, 300K. Can you still get, can this customer refinance and cash out the money, can still own another property with 75% loan? That means if he has an outstanding loan of 300, right, it would not be 1.3 million, it would be 1 million. Can he still get another loans at 75%? Let's assume that the salary can match. All right? The answer is no, right? Because why? There is a mortgage loan. Once you have a mortgage loan, you cannot get 75 anymore. So the only way to do so is to clear the outstanding loan first. Then this amount that come out 1.3 million, right, is called term loan. There's a difference between mortgage loan and term loan. Term loans means that, right? Term loans means that you cannot use CPF to service the installment. You can only use cash. Please take note. Can only use cash for your installment. Only mortgage loan can use CPF to pay installment. So there's a difference between mortgage loan and term loan. So this is something you must know, because why? So that you know how it works generally. So of course, if you want to use a calculator, you can. We use this calculator called equity term loan. Equity term loans. So if you use equity term loan, right, which is here. So based on the 2 million, outstanding loan is 0. CPF utilized is 200,000, right? 300,000 what? 200,000. So you get back 1.3 million. This is calculator, right? Estimated numbers from here to 1.3 million. So this is how the calculators work. All right. So hope you understand what I'm talking about. Next. Your turn to do. Please help me to answer the question. And also, I would like to hear from you all later on, right? Why should he sell? right? Work out the numbers. If 50% of the people attempted this question only. All right, so how? Done? None of the above. How can be none of the above? Don't talk about decoupling anything. So because we are not at the decoupling stage now. Okay, last 1 more minute. Okay, let's end here. What's the interest for term loan? Term loan is the same as normal mortgage loan, so no different. So your current mortgage loan is what? The term loan interest is still the same. For term loan for future purchase, will this affect the TDSR? Yes, Cheryl, it will. Term loan is under credit bureau search, so it will be seen. Okay, not to worry, Mei, not to worry. Later on, I will show you how it's being done, so not to be concerned of. So first and foremost, right? Let's see what is the gearing amount first. So how do we do gearing? So again, let's look at the, what is that? This is the equity term loan, the calculator. Okay, what is the valuation? The valuation here is $1.3 million. Okay. Okay, the valuation is 1.3 million. You just key 1.3 million. Hey, can someone help me to tell me what is the outstanding loan is what?
It's about 390,000.
390, yeah. Oh, so that I don't need to shift here and shift there. CPF is how much?
250,000.
250, yeah. Okay, so you see the gearing amount is what? 335. So then Andy on a private of assisting, he's keen to buy another property. ABS want to take a 75, so can it be done? The answer is yes, it can be done. So Mei, I hope that you can see the calculator. It's not too difficult. So basically what you need to do here is to key in the valuation, Mei, all right? Then key in the valuation, key in the outstanding loan, key in the CPF, you will work out the number, which is 335 automatically. So this is how the calculation is done for those people who are not familiar. So now, why do I say it's a yes, you can get 75% loan? Anybody can tell me why yes? Anybody know why yes?
Hi, Kelvin.
Yep.
I think this is what I'm referring to. Most of the bank, they're telling me that term loan is not classified as the loan. So you'll still become the first one.
Oh yeah, but then you still have an outstanding loan, ma?
That's where I want to clarify with you.
Oh yeah lah.
Yeah, because I was taught all this, well, once you convert to term loan, it wouldn't consider as first loan anymore.
Correct, but then because you have outstanding loan, so it was still a mortgage loan, unless
Okay.
this loan is zero. Yeah, so just now I mentioned during the first session, what do? I do what? Refinance.
Right.
Right, just now the first session that we talked about is refinance, ma. So now Andy is what? Sharon is what? Owner, borrower.
OB.
Owner, borrower. So one of the things that we can do what is when we cash out the money, when we gear up the money, we will refinance again to take out the B.
Yep.
So Sharon will become what? Only the owners, ma. So can Sharon go and get another 75% loan? Can Sharon go and get 75% loan?
Yes.
So this is how it works.
So it's classified under decoupling then?
No.
No.
What is decoupling? Decoupling means what? Decoupling, is there still owner there?
No. No O.
Correct, but this one got O, ma. So can you do decoupling?
Okay.
So cannot. So it's called refinance.
Okay.
So when we refinance, we cash out the money. We tell the banker, cash out the money, remove the B.
Okay.
Two at one go.
Noted.
So as long as this is being done, right, you can get 75% loan.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Yep.
Kelvin, this is Katrina.
Yeah.
Okay, can I check with you for Andy case? If Andy were to do a gear up,
Yep.
but for Andy, there's still an outstanding loan. So
Correct.
it will not be 75%, right? When we do the
It will
when we use
be.
the formula.
It will be, because why? This is the one property only. Existing property, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
It's not you're buying second property, then it's different. Second loan, different property loan.
I see. So if you were to use the formula to calculate for the same property, then it can be considered as there is no outstanding loan. It will be 75%.
The reason is not because of ND existing property, because we removed the borrower of Sharon. Yeah, but
Okay.
of course, all these things subject to what? Subject to what? TDSR.
PSR.
Still, everything we are talking about is still subject to TDSR. So if the TDSR can match, no problem, you can do it. But if the TDSR cannot match, then cannot.
Okay, actually, I'm confused by the scenario A. Scenario A, actually, before that, you mentioned about Alan. You talk about the previous one. Yeah.
This one, right?
Yes. Because this previous one, the first time you're talking about 75% of the 2 million.
Yep.
But after that, you ask us a question if there's an outstanding loan of 300K.
Yep.
So are you referring to the same property outstanding loan or another property?
Same.
So if it's same, how come just now you mentioned, can he still get another loan at 75%? But the answer is no.
Yeah, because he has a, no. Because he has a mortgage loan here. In order to get a 75% loan, right, the property must be fully paid off. Because this is Alan, one person only, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, then this one is different. This one is Alan and Sharon.
Yeah, so for scenario A, is the same question as your polling, am I right? Which is the ND case.
Which is this? You are saying this?
The polling earlier where they say ND owns a private property, that one with 390, and you ask whether can it be done with a 75% loan.
Yeah. So ND, no problem. ND got no issue. Still can get 75%.
Sorry, Kelvin, May here. I think I also don't understand. As in scenario A and B, right? They are the same, but it's just that scenario B, you have Andy and Sharon. But in scenario B, Andy and Sharon, they still have an outstanding of 390K. So in this case, right, does it mean if we compare scenario B to scenario A, does it mean that scenario B, they have to clear off the 390K loan first before they can be qualified for the term loan?
No need.
Because there is another name to use. So the other name can buy without incurring. I mean, because you have one more name to use, that is the gist of it.
Yep. Thank you, Audrey.
Oh, thank you. So long as have two names, but still have outstanding loan, then they are qualified for a term loan.
Correct. Because why? This is a owner and borrower status. This is owner and borrower status.
Yeah.
So why Sharon can get 75%? To buy another property. Because why? I remove her from this current property. So now Andy will be the owner, sole borrower, right? That's why he can actually get 75% and gear up the money, because very simple, he's the sole owner. And then he is the he's the sole borrower and also owner. Sharon is just an owner, but she don't have a loan inside her, she doesn't have a loan in this property. That means she's free from this loan's eligibility. That means Sharon can go and buy another property with a 75% loan. She's possible. That means this case study is what talking about what? You gear up your money, and you still can get a 75% loan. Because
sorry, Kelvin.
Yes.
Sorry, Kelvin. This is Nelson. Okay, let's say for example, as you say that Sharon gear up is that okay, so it's under Andy name, but this property is still under two names, right? Andy and Sharon name will be still under.
Yes.
Okay, but then if Sharon buy another property, they will incur TDSL for the second property, right?
ABSD.
ABSD.
Yeah, TDSR sure must fulfill lah.
ABSD is incurred. So how
Yes,
does
so
it
justice
benefit?
actually, yes, correct.
No. Let's do step by step. Nelson, Andy and
Yes.
Sharon, right? Die do not want to remove owners one. Then how?
Okay.
They are husband and wife. Hey, you take out my owners. You think what? You want to find another woman? Hey, you may find this way, ma. So you want to protect
Okay.
yourself. Hey, their owners are like that one, you know. Right?
Right.
Just that you have not met the owner, ma. Sometimes when you don't have a property under your name, right, you feel insecure. Like.
I think in short, right, you can say ownership will affect the ABSD and the borrower will affect the loans. So that's just, I mean, it's in short lah.
That's definitely, because this is what you should know.
Yeah, that's why I think maybe they are not clear.
They should know, because why? This is the most, when they go for exam, they really must know. What is ownership? What is the so-called affected party in terms of ABSE? What is the affected in terms of loans? 75% or cannot get 75%. So they must know. So anybody still don't understand?
Boss, this is Alfred. I have got a question. Okay, so does it make any difference if Andy and Sharon were to refinance first and then gear up the money? Is there any difference?
No, they should do it together. Why do so troublesome?
Oh, okay. So the gearing up and then the refinancing can take place concurrently.
Can, as long as Andy qualified to take the full loan.
Okay, but it has got to be a different bank lah.
That means Andy, beside 390,000, right? He still must take another 335,000, because this is what they gear up, right?
Yeah.
So Andy's salary must qualify to take up this full amount. If not, cannot gear.
Okay. And while doing it concurrently, it has got to be a different bank.
Oh, no, same bank can.
Same bank can. Okay.
Within
Thank you, boss.
It's okay. You want to go to another bank also can.
Okay.
Just that the cost of going to another bank is higher because you still need to incur legal fees, all those stuff.
Right. So if you do it concurrently, then very smooth lah. In the same bank.
It's very easy to manage this.
Okay. Thank you, boss.
Yep, no problem.
Sorry, Kelvin, may I hear another question? Can this be done for HDB or this is only
HDB
applicable to okay, thank you.
Yeah, HDB better sell. That's the only advice I can tell you. Hey, I deal with customers, HDB, 20 years, today lose $100,000 when they sell. So don't play around. The longer you stay in the house, the more CPF you incurred, the more you will lose money. And when the HDB decay even older and older, the price cannot sell, lower down the price, HDB owner lose a lot more money. That's true one. All right, so Gabriel is asking, what if Alan can't be the sole borrower and needs support from Sharon? Does it mean that Sharon will get 45% of the loan instead of 75%? If let's say, for example, Andy and Sharon, Andy cannot qualify for full loan, that means Sharon will still have to be the borrower. Of course, when Sharon is still a borrower, the problem here is that he will not be able to get 75% loan. That's how it works. Can you explain, Maureen said, can you explain how to gear up paying the outstanding loan? This is a formula. There's nothing to explain, Maureen. I do not know how to explain also. This is formula. So I do not know what you do not know. Formula is like that, no? 75% of the valuation minus outstanding loan minus CPF. That's it. So I do not know how to explain to you. Right?
Kelvin, this is Catherine again. Can we check with you for taking this term loan, we'll go to a different bank, is it?
No, you can do it within the same bank.
Oh, okay.
Okay, next. What is that question? No need to top up. Eileen, what is the formula? The formula is 75% times the valuation minus the outstanding minus the CPF.
I think she's referring to the couple. I think maybe she confused with the couple.
The couple?
Because when the couple then take out, you need to return the CPF back.
Because it's not say return the CPF, it's just that the seller will actually take back his CPF lah. Yeah lah, maybe yes or no lah. Maybe. So but doesn't matter, Eileen. This is the formula. So when you do this, right, the CPF already taken care of. So you do not need to know take out channel name and they have to top up the CPF. No, all these are because of what? The loans. That's why there's a gear up, there is a payment out. So all these are formulas. That's all.
Hi, Kelvin.
Yes.
Xing Yi here. I'm still a little bit confused. Sorry about it. Because just now you mentioned you Andy have to gear up and then he has to be able to take 390K plus 335K loan. But then previously you mentioned that Sharon remove her borrowership so that she can take the 75% loan. So this 335K is to take the loan to buy the other property, and it's borne by Sharon or Andy?
Andy, because why? Who is the at the end of the day, who is the borrower?
Andy is the borrower.
So he undertake the whole loan.
Okay, so Sharon just remove her borrowership so that Andy can gear up and take that equity term loan, is it?
No, it's not that Andy and Sharon make a decision. I want to cash out certain sum of money. I want to remove Sharon out from being a borrower so that Sharon is only an owner in this property. So Sharon can actually go and buy another property now, paying ABSD, and still can get 75% loan. Why? Because Sharon doesn't have any outstanding loan. Am I right to say that?
Oh, okay. So it means that basically the 390 plus 335 is Andy have to bear.
Yep.
So that Sharon can take out her name and then go and buy another property with 75% loan.
Not take out the name, take out
the borrowership.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
So now Andy, the full loan is here. That is the full loan here. All right. And this CPF refund belong to who? Belong to Sharon. Because Sharon, the refund is the sorry, not belong to Sharon. There is no refund. The CPF is still inside the house. This is the only thing. That means now this property CPF is still 250,000. The outstanding loan, which include outstanding 390, term loan 335. This is the current system inside this house. All right, so please be clear. Need to top up CPF of Sharon? No need. You see, some of you has been asking about CPF. When you don't remove someone ownership, the CPF is always inside the house. Why the couple? Just now where Audrey mentioned, that's where the couple come in. Ownership is removed. Ownership removed, CPF will go back to the ownership of the person that's being removed. That's why we talk about CPF. But in this case, there is no removal of ownership. So whatever CPF has been utilized, right, will still remain in the house. That's all.
Hi, Kelvin.
Yes.
It's Gabriel. I was wondering if, let's say, for the outstanding loan that Andy is going to take, would it be 725,000 and then full payment by cash?
No. 390,000 can use CPF. This one, cash.
Okay. Thanks so much.
2 payment.
Sorry, Kelvin. May here one more question. For the CPF refund, meaning is still there 250,000, but moving forward each month, meaning as Sharon is still the owner, so she will still continue to contribute to use her CPF to contribute to the house, or
she has to set aside the basic retirement sum in the CPF before she can use.
Not say using, paying. If let's say,
me generally, right, if this kind of situation happen, right, generally, right, Andy will be the one that is paying. Because why? Because Sharon is going to buy another property. So whatever CPF she has, she'll be using whatever CPF to pay for the other side one, generally. It will not be the case of so much that the CPF is using Sharon, but Sharon want to use her CPF to pay for this current house or not, can. Because she's the owner of the house, she still can use CPF. But generally, nobody do that because why? They will use it, Sharon will use her own CPF to pay for the other house. That is normally the case.
Thank you.
Wei Jian asked, if the CPF remain in the house, then why is there a need for CPF to be refunded? Wei Jian, this is a formula. The house haven't sell yet. That's why the CPF is already there. You utilize how much CPF. When you have not sell the property or not change of ownership, the CPF is always in the house one. But the formula required to minus so that you know how much cash you can take back.
Hi, Kelvin. This is Celeste. I've got a question regarding when I calculate using the equity in the PA app versus when I use the formula manually, the amount seems to be different. I'm not sure what I'm missing out on.
Let me see. So this is 1.3 million.
Yeah.
0.75 minus outstanding loan. 1.3 million. $335.
335. Manually is 335 also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it your notebook put 200,000 CPF or what?
250.
Yeah, lo. Outstanding loan how much?
Outstanding loan 390.
Yeah, lo. Valuation what? How much?
1.3 mil.
I use my calculator punch, it's still 335.
Oh, I know why. Okay. Because I went to take 1.3 minus outstanding minus CPF, then I took 75.
Oh, okay. So I'm wrong.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, what's the repayment period for the term loan? Actually, for any refinancer, anything that is refinancer, for example, now it's 40 years old, right? When you want to do a refinancer, actually, or you want to do an equity term loan out, they can actually base on 75 years old. The whole mortgage can change to 75 now. Previously, when you buy a property, right, if you take a 75% loan, right, it's based on 40 to 65, right? But for refinancing and gearing, right, the bank can actually look at 75. So which means that you have how many years loan? 35 years. That's the advantage of it. Gearing amount is always in cash. Agnes, I don't understand what you mean. Is it installment you're talking about or what? You are referring to installment or you're referring to what? I don't know.
This is Agnes. I mean like 390 plus the 335 you wrote there. 390 can be paid by CPF.
Yes.
Then 335 is cash.
Yes.
So this one is like pay full cash to the bank.
Cash installment.
Oh, pay in installment.
So the bank will work out this amount. What is the installment? Work out this amount. What is the installment? You understand what I'm saying, Agnes?
Oh, okay, can.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No problem.
Hello, Kelvin.
Yep.
Kelvin, it's Catherine again. Sorry, check with you one question. Okay, for this case, is the formula is 75% of the valuation. So if my customer have got 2 property and with 2 loan, do I change it to 45% of the
Yes.
valuation?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
By then, nothing to
Understand.
do already.
Mm.
Okay, Sito say, does Sharon need to fulfill any CPF minimum sum if she's going to use CPF for another property? Yes. Still must fulfill minimum sum. No. Sito, sorry. Because she does, oh yes. She need to fulfill minimum sum because why? Her existing property, like for example, this property, there is a CPF usage. Yes, must fulfill. Right, Sito must fulfill still. All right, are we clear so far? So the question is, right, should he sell or gear up? Anybody can share with me or not?
I mean, sell, you can avoid the ABSD.
Yes. I mean, that is a general thoughts. If let's say I tell you, Audrey, I don't mind to pay ABSD. So the question is, why must I sell?
Then don't sell, you pay ABSD. Just get out. If the TDSR can fulfill.
Yeah, TDSR no problem can fulfill. There's still something that you need to know. Why I ask this question? Sure got meaning, man.
Hi, boss, Wei Jian here. Is it to cash out the CPF?
In what sense? How do you make me feel good, Wei Jian? I'm more interested in not just give me one answer like that. You said even I reply you, I don't reply one answer one, you know? Right? Because I want to hear how you deliver to make me feel that I should sell. Right, Wei Jian, you try.
Okay, I would strongly advise you to sell this property now because you have about $250,000 of CPF stuck in your existing property, and as the years go by, this 250,000 will start to accumulate accrued interest, and this number will only become bigger. So if you cash out your property now, assuming that $1.3 million you can make a good profit, use the property to pay off this accrued interest, because we don't know how much more this property will continue to appreciate. So we put it in another investment which has a stronger potential upside that I will introduce to you, and use the new property to help you utilize your CPF, something like that.
Good. Wei Jian, it's good that you mentioned this, but where is the care element? You run through information with me, which I think is good. But the next thing that you must know here is, how do I make you feel good about what I should suggest to you? Wei Jian, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, boss.
See, Wei Jian has explained in such a way that this current property, right, inside there is a CPF of 250,000. If you sell, right, how much is the profit? How much is the profit?
We don't know how much they bought at, so
660 lah, profit ma. Right, valuation ma. Minus outstanding, minus CPF refund ma. The profit
but because
right.
Outstanding loan will, if they own the property for like maybe 5-10 years, then they would have minus off a bit of the loan already. So
yeah, the outstanding loan no, 390 no.
Okay.
You, Wei Jian, you don't scare me. You suddenly don't know how to count profit. Right, this is the most
because
basic.
from my point of view, the profit was calculated by the profit is more in terms of capital appreciation. So assuming they bought at 1 million, then they sell at 1.3, then their profit will be 300K. So I don't count it from a outstanding loan perspective.
Understand. Not wrong as well, but for calculation purposes, for working purposes, you will take back 660,000, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the ultimate aim that we are talking about. So if he doesn't sell the property, right, this amount is at where? Just now you mentioned, right? It's at here, right?
Yes.
So for me, I would say, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Owner, I mean, I understand that you do not want to sell the property. I'm perfectly fine with that. And I so-called, I accept what is your thoughts, that you do not want to have the ownership change. And you just want to pay ABSC. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, I can be your agent to just accept what you want me to do. I will just fulfill what you need to do. Ultimately, you're still going to buy another property, right? But as a professional agent myself, I have seen a lot of customers out there. I want to explain to you why I still want you to consider in terms of selling. Not because that your property doesn't appreciate in times. No. It's because there's only one point that I would like to bring up, is that your CPF, right, is actually stuck in the house and it's not working. Your cash is also stuck in the house. It's also not working. You only cash out half of it, but the other half is still staying in the house. But the most crucial point is not so much about the cash, because you have enough cash. The most important is actually the CPF. Why a lot of people actually sell their property? Because they want to use their CPF to work hard for them. But if you don't sell the property, right, the CPF is always in the house. Is it working? It's not working. So the only way to make it work, right, is when you sell the property. Then this CPF will come out. Just now we do equity cash out, right? Gearing, right? Gearing, did the CPF come out? Wei Jian?
Gearing, yes. No.
Huh?
Never.
The CPF never come out.
For when you do gearing, the CPF is still in the house, but only when you do selling, what happened? The 250,000 come out. So you can reuse the 250,000 as your down payment. You can also reuse the 250,000 to do what? To buy another property, right? You see, yeah? So I will do what? I will show them this. I say, Mr. Buyer, this is the property that you have, which has 250,000, 660,000 of cash inside this house. But if I were to sell this property away and I utilize, let's say, for example, $1 million to buy this property, 1 million, I will use 250,000. I will use 250,000 to buy the property. So I will left with how much cash? 100,000, 160,000. Let's do simple calculation. But my CPF 250,000, right, is still inside. It's already in my CPF, right? Am I right to say that, Wei Jian?
Yes.
So, if let's say this property is rented out at $4,000, I actually use my CPF to pay this to $4,000. And every month, right, I'm actually cashing out $4,000 into my bank account. Am I right to say that?
Right, yes.
So why am I sharing this with you, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Owner? The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because why? I want you to know how to use CPF, right, to work for you. How to use CPF, right, to trade cash return. That is my formula. A lot of people don't understand how to make full use of the CPF. And as your agents, I do not want just to listen to what you say. I just want to share with you my opinion, because I think it's important for you to know. Because I do not want you to think your way, but because you may not know exactly how you can plan for it. And that's the reason I would like to share with you how you can better make use of your CPF, right, to churn out money for you. And that is what I'm trying to explain to you just now. So Wei Jian, do you understand I'm talking?
Boss, thank you.
So this, yeah, you wait a while, let me finish my thought first. So one of the things that we are trying, why I ask all of you this question, should I sell or not sell? The reason why you should sell is because why? I want to tell people how to maximize your CPF. Can you imagine, I use all my cash to pay my down payment. And every month I'm using CPF to pay my installment. And every month the tenant give me $4,000. And this $4,000, I can use it to pay for my what? My own house. That means I'm leveraging on my CPF. I'm using other people's money to pay for my own house to stay. Isn't it wonderful? This is exactly what I'm trying to do here. But because of what you think so, your CPF is stuck in the house, it's actually not working hard for you. And that's the reason why my advice to you here is this. But ultimately, Mr. Owner, the final decision still lies in you. Because why? You need to make the judgment. For me, as a professional, I would like to share with you what is the best for you. That's how I will explain. Wei-Jian, you only lack of one thing, how to make the customer feel good. When we talk about all these things, it's not about the numbers. Just now you focus about what, Wei-Jian? You focus about numbers, which is not wrong. But your numbers doesn't give people meaning. Your numbers doesn't touch people. Your number doesn't make them feel that, wow, actually, Kelvin, you think so far. You think about how to make money work for me. Do you see my point, Wei-Jian?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but good that you know. But I'm trying to expand it out for you in your whole speech. That's all. Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you so much. The rest of the people, I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you. All right. Hopefully lah. Sorry, just now May was trying to ask me a question, right?
Yes, Kelvin,
Yes.
May here. May I know if I don't sell the house, can't I use the 250K for my next property?
You can't, ma. I just finished, ma. The CPF is in where? Where's the CPF?
It's in the house, right?
Hello? So how to use?
But if you buy the second one, you can't utilize any of those 250K?
This 250,000 is at which house?
The first house.
Exactly, ma. Then how do you use? This one is CPF usage. Sorry, maybe I should change my word called usage. Thanks for the person. Thanks, Jeffrey, for telling me. Yeah, should use the CPF usage.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so then at least you are clear. All right, anybody not clear one? Okay, so now I shall break. We all shall go for our lunch break. We will come back at 2 o'clock. But for those people who come in early, I would like you to visit this question. All right. So now we shall end here. Later on at 2 o'clock, please come back again here. Right? Please come back as sharp, because why? We have a lot more things to go through. We have a lot more haven't finished yet. All right. So far, I hope all of you can digest. While you're having your lunch, take a short break. At the same time, recap what we have done. Later on at 2 o'clock, if there's anything that you're not so sure, at least you have some question to ask me. All right. If not, please go for your lunch break. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you in a short while later.